Hello, subscribers. Sorry about that. The wind wasn't going to allow me to do that video at all. So I'm back in the house, and I wanted to talk about something. I want to talk about the eviction. I want to talk about what I think Charles' plan is, and I don't know. This is me guessing. I also want to talk about how this would affect the kids and how they didn't think about that when they decided to do all this stuff. Let's start with this. Let's start with the coronation. No, let's start with the wedding, because I've been going back and forth today with my subscribers, and they really wanted me to know that it's correct. Thomas Markle never got an invitation. He never got a plane ticket. He never got anything. And another YouTube subscriber said the invitations went out 2 months before the wedding was going to take place. So my thought is that if he was going to go, why didn't he get an invitation or a phone call saying, "Hey, Dad, are you going to walk me down the aisle?" I just remember TMZ, like, you know, "Thomas Markle, are you going?" And he couldn't give them a definitive answer because she never really actually asked her dad to walk her down the aisle. First of all, Harry never met him, which blows my mind. Here's what happened. Here's when my subscribers start talking to me, things start popping in my head. And here's what popped in my head. And they also said that, and Samantha said this too, that she didn't want her family members to be there, so everybody else that was going to be there to find out that Meghan was actually lying about how she became successful. She didn't put herself through school. She didn't do all this on her own. Like, she was on the Ellen DeGeneres show talking about her car, how broke down it was, and stuff like that. No, you didn't have a broke down car. Your dad took care of you. So don't make it seem like you were a struggling actress. And first of all, you still was a D-list actress. No one knew you. William and Kate didn't know who you were. So stop lying on them too. And 90% of the UK and 90% of the United States didn't know you. The only people that knew you was people in Canada. And if them. Because that's where it was filmed. Her TV show, or whatever that was, Suits, wasn't even filmed in the United States. Not that it has to be. But it wasn't known. But here's the deal. Ashley didn't get an invitation. So no one on Meghan's side got an invitation, because she knew well in advance that she wasn't inviting anyone that was, she called, classless. Then she goes on and she invites all these celebrities. You know the story. But I can't help but to think that if she had invited her family, like my subscriber said, that at the reception, they were going to ask questions. I would have. Hey, how do you know Meghan? What side of the family are you on? The dad side or the mom side? You know, "Oh, I know Meghan from this. We grew up together. We grew up in Mexico," or, you know, da-da-da-da-da. Well, she said she went to this school, did she? No, she didn't go to that school. I remember her dad, you know, writing a letter and doing this for her. So they were going to find out the celebrities didn't know who she was. But they were going to find out who she was through the family if they had attended. Because it wasn't, it was not the royals that Meghan was really worried about finding out about her past. I believe it was the celebrities she was worried about finding out about her past. Because her whole side of the aisle was celebrities, except for one person. One. And so you at the reception, you're talking about her career and all of this stuff, and how you know her and all of this other stuff. and find out, uh-oh, she's lying about all this stuff. Let's move on. So we already know that. I just wanted to reiterate it and talk about that a little bit because my subscribers wanted me to know. Now, hold up. Wait a minute. This is why Meghan didn't want to invite the family. And I truly believe is that she didn't want them celebrities to know anything. She didn't want anyone to know, not just celebrities, but the royals too. But she knew her lies were going to start coming out then. So that's a known fact. But the mere fact her father didn't get an invitation, that is just sucks. It sucks. It's just not something that you would expect from this person. A so-called, from Meghan, a person that Harry introduced to his family. You brought a stranger into our house, Harry. A stranger. And not just a stranger, a con artist, a manipulator, a liar. Someone that we can't trust. Someone that manipulated you, but you won't listen to anyone because you're so far up her butt, you can't even see straight. Is the sex that good? That's what I want to say on the last video. It has to be. And now, they're going, apparently going to the coronation. They want Lilibet and Archie to have a part. Something like that. They don't have a part in the coronation. They don't. William and Kate's kids do. But Meghan's pushing that. Like, what are we going to do when we get there? Nothing. You're going to go sit down and be quiet. Because it's your fault your kids are not in the coronation and being a part of the celebration. Because you snatched them from the institution and their family. You removed them. And while you're lying, talking about they threw you to the wolves, trying to say they kind of pushed you out. No. They were trying to welcome you in. But you want us to believe that so you can live your Hollywood life. But your lies has caught up with you. But it's affecting everybody else around you, like your kids. Because when I grew up, I would be pissed off that I missed my pawpaws. If I was Archie. Mom, where's my pictures with Grandpa at the coronation? This was a historical event. I would hold that against you. Because your trickery, you didn't think this through, that how it would affect your kids. No, because you do everything for yourself. Now you got the kids over there in Hollywood, isolated, literally isolated from their real families. And you over there with them in the celebrity world. And now Tyler Perry is the new godfather. You don't even know him. You've known him for 15 minutes, and all of a sudden, he is the kid's godfather because he gave you a house to stay in. But their father, your father hasn't met them at all. And he's not well. Now, I don't really want to talk about this, but I kind of do. What is her reaction going to do? Like, eventually, people just get older and older and older. And then he's never going to get to see them. Oh, I'm coming with a video, man. I'm not going to talk about it now. But I'm coming. Let's talk about the eviction. Charles kicked them smooth out of Frogmore and said, get out. Get out. And I'm taking your titles next. I'm taking your titles next. That's next. But I think he's just setting it up. He's not being mean. He's just letting them know, hey, you're not going to play these trickery games with me and disrespect me and the monarchy and the entire royal family but your shenanigans. So let's shut down this house because you guys ain't over here anyway. What you using it for? Wasted space, wasted energy, wasted electricity, wasted staff over there. You knew when the queen gave it to you, you wasn't going to stay. But you accepted it. But they threw you to the wolves. The queen tried to make you comfortable at every angle, in every situation that you were whining and pining and crying about. But it was never enough, was it, Meghan? It was never enough. The queen, it was never quite enough for you. It just didn't mesh with you. They were always doing something bad to you. But that's not what we saw. And like one of my subscribers says, don't forget about the wardrobe, Letitia. Don't forget about everything. Don't forget about the taxpayers there paying for everything, Harry. You didn't have a problem with your cottage before she came in. Then all of a sudden, you dissing your home? Oh, You should have told her to get the hell out then. Get out. In his book, he says that he has a discussion with her, an argument. And I'm sure it was legitimate. And he had a right to, but he doesn't talk about what the argument is. He doesn't tell us what they're arguing about. But he tells us that she looks at him and says, who taught you how to talk like this? Where did you get this language from? Trying to insinuate that that he gets it from inside his house. Shut up. Come on. You the one running from your family, Meghan. Okay? You don't want to talk about Doria's past. No, we'll keep that a secret. But you want to talk about Harry's family. No. I heard your half-brother, yep, the one you don't claim, is coming out with his own series. They need one. We need a new perspective on who you really are, because the one that you're portraying to be is not it. Yeah, I woke up with an attitude. And the reason why I woke up with like a little bit of frustration towards her was because how this is going to affect the kids. I know I'm not saying what I really want to say, how it's going to affect the kids. But number one is that they're not even going to get to enjoy the coronation because of you. And Harry doesn't know how he needs to treat his family. Because when he goes over there for the coronation, because he has to go, it's going to be awkward, just like the funeral. It's going to be just crazy. I believe when Harry came home, he said, wait a minute, Meghan, I don't want to do this anymore from the funeral. I don't want to do this book thing. I don't want to do this docuseries. Let's pull back. It wasn't Meghan. It was Harry. And they say, Harry, no, it's too late. We didn't give you all this money. It's on. We can't stop this. You can't take nothing out of the book. Come to find out, A, he was either adding to the book because he added to the book because he wanted us to know that they didn't want Meghan there. That's a lie at the funeral. They didn't want Meghan to get on the plane with him during the time the Queen had passed away. No. No. Why does everything always have to be about her? Sit down and shut up and let Harry go say goodbye to his grandmother, then fly your needy tail over there and be by his side. That's what a real woman would have did. No, not you. You wanted him to add to the book. They can come out with 400 more pages of this crap if they want to. Because Saturday Night Live and South Park and Steve Corbolt and the rest of them and Jimmy Kimmel and the rest of them that have called you guys jokes are going to come out full blast because people are sick of you guys talking about your families because it's you two that are ungrateful. How dare you get the royal treatment? When I say royal treatment, the red carpet. And what do? You turn around, Meghan, and you just tell the queen, the whole family, you guys are a means to an end. I'm not staying here. They gave you that Frogmore cottage because you were complaining about how small your place was. And then when they gave it to you, you were like, oh, thank God, because that place was too small. Is the one in Montecito big enough for you? Was that what you were thinking you were going to get when you were over there? That's what you wanted. You really wanted the Montecito home. But regardless, you wanted Montecito in California, period, because you wasn't staying over there. But instead of saying that in the beginning, you took the money, the taxpayers' money, you put it into the Frogmore cottage home. It barely finished renovating before you and Harry got on a plane talking about freedom. But they threw you to the wolves. Your kids are going to be the ones that suffer. I don't want my child to suffer behind the things that I do, so I have to be very careful. Because what I do affects her future, and everything. Remember that scandal here a long time ago when those celebrities were paying to get their kids in the best schools? They wasn't getting in there academically. And the hardest part for African Americans to understand, because it's not just us getting in there academically. I mean, you have to go beyond the call of duty to get into some places. But they paid $500,000, $200,000, whatever they wanted to pay to get their kids in these elite schools, which was wrong. Shame on you. The law came down on them. They were very lenient because they spent like 2 days in jail and they got out. But that's what I'm talking about, parents doing things. Although they were doing it for the kids, it still was not a good idea to do that. I don't need to go into it any more deeper because that's not the conversation I'm talking about. The point is that the actions that you do, Meghan, affects people around you. Your father is ill. And he has, do you know you're breaking his heart? That he hasn't at least sent him a picture. You know where he gets to see his grandkids? On TV, on a freaking docuseries where you are going in and telling us that you lost him because of some stupid paparazzi pictures that you, Meghan, that you, my dear, yes, you have something to do with it. Because while you were telling Kate, lying, all that's a lie, that you were having a hard time because of what was going on with your father. No, you were plotting and planning then. No, what you should have told her, Kate, listen, I ain't got time for that. I got to figure out how I'm going to keep my daddy from the wedding. Just so happened he had a heart attack. I wonder what she said when that happened. Because after the wedding, when you went to go see your father, my thought was, I said, well, she probably go see him after. Because now, this is what I thought the whole time. I said, well, he didn't have a heart attack. He can't come to the wedding and walk her down. That's very nice of Charles to do that. And maybe after the wedding, her and Harry would go over there and visit him. I know I done went on into something. And I'm lecturing. Let me stop. Because I don't want to repeat myself. And I know some of this is a repeat. But just bear with me, guys. Okay? Charles is taking the titles. Not today, but shortly. You saw her on that freaked out commercial she did the other day. She didn't look like herself. Here with me, I have the Duchess of Sussex. First of all, it's you, Meghan, that tell people to call you that. So when she said that, I said to myself, there she go, using up the name, using it up. There they go. The Duchess of Sussex. Me personally, I think I would feel ashamed to use it, knowing what I've done. Stop trying to get an apology. Excuse me. Here's the kicker. Harry and Meghan went around talking about they want privacy and they want to deal with things privately. But now they want a public apology, a public one from Charles. Not a private one, a public apology. For what? So you can solidify that, oh, see, I told you guys that they threw me to the wolves. Your things are catching up with you. And the more we hear in the media, she's upset because they took the cottage. Why? It was never yours. You didn't want it. You left. Why would you give a care? If they took it, split it in half, and did whatever they wanted to with it. So you want us to believe, here we go, guys, that she's upset because they took something that never belonged to you anyway because you gave it up when you decided to leave? And now all of a sudden you're hurt behind that? Why would you even want that? That's not even something that is even within your caliber. You used to Montecito. What was you using it for anyway? Half in and half out to help the monarchy? You didn't want to do that stuff. It was boring and you thought you should get paid for it. No. Anything you should say, you know what? They're right. They should take it. Give it to someone that needs it, that deserves it. And no one's in it but the staff trying to keep it clean and stuff. For what? So when you guys come in every now and then, no. You're going to have to get a hotel. You can't stay with William and Kate. Why would I let you stay with me after you talked about my boobs and my circumcision? I just don't get the whole concept of, I do get it, but I just think it's just, to me, disgusting. I'm going to stop now because you know I can go on and on and on. But I believe he took those titles, took that house to let you know. And Commonwealth too, Commonwealth. They offer that, they're off of the list. And what they're doing is slowly stripping these people, slowly stripping Harry and Meghan of the things that they thought that they was going to continue to get. My phone is going to die on you, but that's okay. Let it die out while I'm talking. But for the life of me, why would you even want anything? Why would I want something from my mom if I'm dissing her in the public? Then they get pissed off when things stop, when things start getting taken away from them. Let me tell you something. William and Charles and all of them are so smart. And they're always one step ahead of them. And they don't even have to do anything but just sit back and watch them destroy themselves. In her first appearance is about a tea commercial. Work with me. Your first appearance is a tea commercial. Not an apology, not accountability for